we're back. Hey, everybody. Longtime friend. I love this guy. He's hilarious. If you follow us online, he's always busting my chops online. Here he is, the one, the only Mr. Johnny Sanchez.
Yes.
What's up,
Darren's
buddy?
already all on me, man. Sit this way, turn that way. Don't go up, go down. This is it. This is what you get, Darren Cartier.
In case we forget, we're going to do the thumbnail looks. Ready? Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just so everybody takes the worst screenshot of me when I'm doing somebody's podcast or show. So I'm going to give Darren, I'm going to just hold for like just 3 seconds so he has the image and we don't have to worry about it. This is one of them.
I'm going to look right into that camera.
Okay. Here's the second one.
Oh,
and you're going to love this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's good.
And I waited long enough that you can find it and you got it. All right?
Yes. Yep. Thank you. Johnny's a pro, man. You are a pro. You've worked with everybody.
By the way, we're to everybody else, it's like he calls me. I'm telling him, are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And he's like, hey, all right, easy. Don't tell me what to do. And then we connect here on the Zoom. And then before we come on, he's like, can you like change your angle and sit better? He wants me to get that in there, by the way. So
the Purple Rain, I love that. Well, no,
that's
it's
crazy timing. The timing is
let's talk about
crazy. Yeah.
We've got to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, as our friend Brody Stevens always talks about connections, I'm sitting here, my wife and son, they just left. They went up to the farm. I'm like, I want to see if I can get Johnny in. I got the place to myself. Let's do this. I got, there won't be any distractions. And I'm listening to some Prince music. I was listening to Erotic City. Remember that?
I just listened to it.
No.
I did.
By the way,
I listened to the album before I came on.
That's hilarious. And by the way, I sound like a creep. I'm like, my wife and son are gone. I got the place to myself. I'm down in my purple underwear. I got Erotic City. I'm getting ready to. No, what? Don't go there, people. Don't go there. No, but because my son's a musician, so I saw before he left. I go, Austin, can you play this? Doot, 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 doot. And he walked over to the piano, and of course, dun 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 dun. When he does it, he breaks it down. It looks so simple. He's like, dun 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 dun, and I'm like, man, how do they? All my purple life. So I'm listening.
So good.
I know and that was one of those songs I don't remember on the radio really. Like it would. And if they did, when they did play it on the radio, Darren, they would bleep out certain words. Whoa. Yeah.
Well.
We can dance until the dawn.
They would change. I don't even know if he ended up having to go back in and change the word to funk or something like that. But we all thought that was the greatest thing, dude. That song, everybody in school was just like, have you heard this song? I mean, we loved that whole album. The movie was still one of my favorites of all time. But that soundtrack, Prince's, a lot of people don't understand. The deal with Prince was his first 5 albums, he played every instrument and wrote every song. He produced he even played every instrument on Vanity's album because he knew he was going to get a girl band together.
Yeah. So
he played every instrument, then he put the girls together. At the time, were just called The Time because they had not nobody knew who Morris Day was. So Prince also plays every instrument on their first album, and he was friends with Morris Day already. So he told Morris Day, I want you, they put the band together because they had been jamming, they knew each other in Minneapolis. He says, you're gonna be the lead, but I want you to sound like me. He told Morris Day, sound as close to me as you find, like Prince. So he played all the instruments on that album too, which had the hit song. Remember the time, Cool?
Yes. C-O-O-L. Yeah.
What's that spell?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite line in that one was, I'm cooler than Santa Claus, baby. We were just like this. But anyway, it's almost like the time, the same thing that happened with the time is like the Supremes. The Supremes were the Supremes. They got so big, everybody loved Diana Ross. Then they became Diana Ross and the Supremes. The same thing happened with the time. They got huge, and it became Morris Day in the time. But Purple Rain for me, I know you were asking me, like, you'd asked me before, you know, what's my favorite song? I
want to get into this because I was the music's playing. You said you could do it. I'm like, perfect. And I thought, and here's actually what I thought. I wonder if Johnny even likes Prince, because I know you're really into AC/DC and metal. That's why I think the text message, I go, hey, you know, do you have like 3 songs maybe? I was going to say 5. I go, just like, or a song or whatever, any stories. And you're like, dude, I'm like, look at my shirt. I'm wearing purple. And I was like, oh man. And I was like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy that I just thought of that. And then you're like actually wearing the Prince
shirt earlier today. Yeah.
And as that shocked me, that I realized, like, guess what song was playing on YouTube? That song, right? It was like, wow. I mean, this is like connections, you know?
Totally, dude. Totally. And you know, what's funny, Darren, is I grew up in a household, you know, which my parents, we were always playing oldies but goodies early on. We all made the transition into Motown. So my sisters were listening. My sisters are the ones that turned me on to Al Green and, you know, Smokey and all them, Marvin Gaye. And so our house, we always had to have some of that music going on. So of course, when I was always on this one thing where I was especially when Prince came out, because even before that, when he had Little Red Corvette and some of the others, they were still great songs. So we're already into him, and of course Michael Jackson. But you know, there's a song on there on Purple Rain that, listen, we all love. I mean, first of all, I think Purple Rain is the best song on that album, in my opinion. I just think the emotion behind it and everything. When Doves Cry was always my favorite out of that album.
Yeah.
It's raw. It's sad. You know, he's talking about his mom and his dad, deadbeat dad. But there's a song in there. I was hanging out with this girl at the time. We weren't even really dating. We'd had crushes on each other since grammar school. And the album came out, and I remember we would listen to it. And it was the song, especially after we saw the movie. We watched the movie separately, but there's this one song on there. Won't you take me with you?
Oh, I love that. Take me with you. I don't care where we go. I don't care what we do. Yeah.
I don't care, pretty baby. Take me. Dude, that song, but it's more of a personal thing for me. So I sort of kind of put that, it's like Purple Rain, Doves Cry, Take Me With You. Of course, you know, Let's Go Crazy. Hey, listen, man, Beautiful. I was listening to the album again. I forgot about Beautiful Ones.
Dude, the Beautiful Ones for me was a hit because there was this girl that I had a crush on in high school. And then in my mind, I'm picturing myself like singing, do you want him or do you want me? Because I want you. Go. You know, of course, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Yeah, you don't, you know, you're just I love, do you want him or do you want me? Because I want you and I. What about, I love Baby, I'm a Star. Do you remember that one? Hey, look me over. Tell me, do you like what you see? I ain't got much money, but I'm rich on personality.
So good, dude. So good.
Hey,
really,
listen.
Yep.
I love that stuff, man.
That's right.
Dude.
And even on Beautiful Ones, when he's like, baby, 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 you know, it's just, well, you know how to do it. I wish I had an octave. I have no no falsetto. Cannot do a falsetto for the life of me.
What's it sound like when you try it?
Oof.
Does it crack? It just cracks?
Yeah, because I have a raspy voice. So it's, baby, baby. See, it immediately goes. And I don't know how to sing. Yeah. You know that people tell me, who are singers, they always say to me, they go, you're singing from your throat, not your diaphragm.
Yeah, my son was watching some singing lesson online, and the guy was like, practice breathing with your belly going in and out, not your chest, your belly. That way you can really you relax and,
Yeah.
Yeah, my son, he practices all the time. Real quick, as a side note, he's always practicing his highest octave and seeing how low he can take his voice. And he really wants to break the world record. It's hilarious because he's 12 years old, but he's able to go. Jeez. He's like, come on, wait, how's it go? Maybe lock the door and turn the lights down low. And then he'll be like, Elmo thinks that you're sexy or whatever. I don't know. It's hilarious, but yeah. So,
and you know what's great? Just like any youth, where their muscles are strengthening, they can do literally anything. So are his vocal cords.
Yeah.
He's at a time right now. Has his voice changed? Has he gone through the...
He did notice a couple days ago. He goes, hey, I'm not able to go as high as I used to, but he's practices. Like,
yeah, he's
practicing. To us, it looks odd because he's really going like, he'll be like by himself going like, and it's like, but then I heard him singing along to the record or whatever, the radio. I'm like, I could see what he's like. It sounds, when there's music playing, it actually sounds like music. When it's just some kid, in the bathroom going, it's like, dude, what are you okay over there? Like, but,
well, that's great, man. I mean, I wish I would have had that musical. I have so many cousins. My dad can sing great.
Oh, that's cool.
And, yeah, he has a great falsetto. And I just didn't get it, man. I didn't get the musical ear. I tried playing drums, bass, guitar, and harmonica and saxophone. And it wasn't something that it just didn't come easy to me. It was work for me to learn songs.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's I see what he can do, and he walks over and because right now he's playing. Well, if you guys you want to check it out, hop over to his YouTube channel. He just started.
Oh,
it's
nice.
Os the Bass Boss, and the link will be in this description. Os the Bass Boss, AUS. But yeah, he's got videos on there where he's playing like the bass, and then the piano, and then the guitar, and then the melodica, where it's like. I mean, it's bizarre. It's like
he's multi-instrumental.
Yes. He he says he could play like 36 instruments or whatever, but I see him actually play, because a lot of them are very similar, like bass, guitar, ukulele, like that's and then he'll play like the piano and so it's interesting. Like I thought about Prince when you said that, because I remember when Purple Rain came out, they were like, he played every instrument. Like I could see how. I bet you a lot of musicians probably can, right? Like, I mean, I would imagine. I don't know, but
it's interesting because my buddy who's a singer, he just, you know what? He was a drummer first, and then he switched to guitar. But he can pick up the bass if he needs to.
That's cool.
And then do it. So I just never had that musical. I mean, dancing. You and I, we know how to dance. We were poppers. We were break dancers. I'm sure a lot of other stuff you could do as well. I had it musically, the rhythm and the beat and all, but you put something in my hand. I don't know what happens, Darren. It was like, the connections were never there.
He's even trying to show me stuff. And I'm like, he's like, now take your finger, slide it down to the 3rd fret. And I'm just, at that point, I'm like, it's not really, you play it. Cause when he does it, it's just like, he's getting to the point now where I'm like, that looks really cool, because he's just like, he's slapping the bass a little bit. And I'm like,
nice.
That's kind of cool, man. It's,
man, the bass slap, the bass slap,
the bass slap, right?
Wow. Yes, that's you. I don't know if you remember, but there was that phase where funk made a comeback in like that band Extreme. They were like basically a rock funk band. So I used to go to. Some of these clubs out here in LA
was that song called like More Than Words or something? They had the long hair.
What's funny is that song they did that song, Darren, and it had nothing to do with them at all. Like I remember people went out and bought their album And they were like, man, this isn't the shit that they put on the, you know what I mean? Because they were very like, and it was all bass slapping. And so I went and saw a lot of funk bands out here. And I thought that was the coolest thing, man, to watch somebody on bass. Because, you know, bass, it unless you're in the Stray Cats, bands like that where they have the stand-up bass. I don't know if you've ever gone to see bands play with a like a rockabilly with a stand-up bass, Darren. Oh my God. It's fantastic, right?
Yeah, my son showed me some giant bass that's out in, I think, Phoenix. There's like some musician like museum or something, and it's a giant bass, and you gotta like I think they used to use it in concerts in the late 1800s or like world fairs, things like that. Like
absolutely, man. You know, I mean, that dude from Stray Cats and those guys, they would spin it around. You know what I mean? Like, so whenever I see somebody doing slap bass, I think that's awesome because it's a little bit of a throwback. You know what I mean? So good for him, man. That must be really neat to have. My daughter likes to sing, but she doesn't have like this great voice. I mean, I'm being honest, but she's a really good writer. She just creates these songs, and I try to record her as much as I can without her knowing. You know,
because they get shy sometimes.
Yeah, if she sees me, then she'll be like, "What are you doing?" But just real interesting lyrics, like she could probably be kind of a, I don't know, like a Jewel or a Alanis Morissette, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
dude,
they didn't have the greatest voices, but neither did Bob Dylan. But he knew how to write songs amazing. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just I hope she gets into it. But do you want? Let me ask you this. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Are you okay with him getting in the arts?
Yes, I totally am. Because it's it's funny because I realize, once you do it for as long as we realize like, hey, it's not fair. There's certain things like certain people get so I realize
it's really not. But you're right.
Yeah, so I try not to like I remember, and see, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer, like I don't want to be like when he's been wanting to do this YouTube channel for like a year or longer. I don't know. He's kept little journals of his little songs, and he's recorded stuff, and just around the house, and he really wanted to start that YouTube channel over the summer, and but I think I said something to him once where I was like, because I have like, I don't know, I have like 2,000 subscribers, and he's like, oh, Dad, wow. But we say wow because we know how hard it is to get like anybody to subscribe to our stuff. So, but he's comparing me to like PewDiePie, and people have like 40 million subscribers, right? So he's like, wow, Dad, you only have 2,000? Oh, wow. Like, yeah, I mean, dude, you know what he said to me? This is hilarious. Like he goes, Dad, did you know that you're an obscure comedian? What does that mean? That I'm obscure. I go, what do you mean I'm obscure?
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, so Daddy-O, like he calls me Daddy-O. He goes, also, you're underrated. He says I'm underrated and obscure. And I go, I go, thank you. And he goes, wait, that's a good thing? And I go, yeah. And he goes, yeah, because I saw somebody on your YouTube channel said that you were underrated and that you hit liked and you said thank you. And I was wondering why that would be a compliment. And I go, and so I had to break it down. Hey, when you're underrated, that means somebody thinks that you should be not obscure, that you should be like, like, yeah. But here's why he thinks, and he's kind of right, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, I am obscure, but he knows that I have 4 comedy albums, and they're all self produced, and I put them on CD Baby, right? CD Baby.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with CD Baby, but it's for independent artists. So
yeah, okay.
He watches these strange YouTubers or whoever, like these a cappella groups, or whatever. And a lot of times they have albums on CD Baby. So he went to the CD Baby website and he goes, Dad, that's where all the obscure artists are. And he's right. He's right. Cause I'm not with like Arista or Capitol Records. Yeah. I'm with CD Baby, So, and by the way, I could tell you don't, like I've told this to other comedians and some of them laugh and some of them feel like, hey, wait a second. Maybe I'm obscure. That's cold-blooded. No,
Well,
no.
it's funny. My daughter's not there yet,
Yeah.
but somebody I can't remember what somebody, one of those things when somebody posts, "Hey man, greatest Latino comics of all time."
Yeah.
And then you start seeing people that are, and I'm, it's just like, but somebody tagged me. So I was like, what? And then it was just a regular person. It wasn't a comic. And then it was my name. And then he's the most underrated Latino comic of all time. He should be whatever. And then some other comics actually like, agree with you, man. Johnny should. But it's the luck of, I try to explain this to my daughter and people ask me from back home in the valley, in the San Joaquin Valley. They're like, well, I don't understand. You've been doing it longer than so-and-so, and so-and-so's now on SNL, or he's further than you, or he's doing movies. And I go, hey, man, it is all about timing.
Yes.
Right place, right time.
Yep. Right. Representation.
The proper representation, by the way.
Yeah.
When somebody gets it and guides you in the right direction, instead of going, what people don't understand is certain reps are more about the quick money. And rather than going, hey, you're not really going to make any money on this, but this could go somewhere, Johnny. Stick with this little web series. Let's do it. People don't get that. They don't. And so, and those years, Darren, when we weren't sure, we kind of had our gut feelings about things we should or shouldn't do or whatever. And then you look back and I go, well, that guy wasn't even that experienced.
Right. Yeah.
He hadn't even really done anything anyway on his own. I've had a lot of, I don't know why this happened to me, but I had a lot of these guys that kind of broke off on their own, and they were just like, hey man, I'm ready to do it. You're going to be my guy. Let's do it together. Instead of the guy who had been there for 15, 20 years, what's his name out of New York, man? Abby Roberts is repped by him.
Nick Nucifero.
Well, Nick's another one. Nick's another. That's another great example. And then, oh my God, I could see Eleanor saying his name because Dave Becky.
Oh yeah.
Dave Becky, dude. Now that guy can change everything for you. Yeah. Because he's proven. He's been, the business industry knows him. And, I never really got a Dave Becky, man. Never really got a Dave Becky.
You know what, though, man? I look at it like this. Like, everything is changing so much. And now with, like, COVID now with the COVID lockdown, it's like, I don't even know if we, I worked with this comedian recently, and I think he's making a pretty good living. He's not even in LA. And he said he does a YouTube series like what I'm doing, podcasting. He does Patreon, so he's making he's giving them more content. He's doing extra episodes. He, for like $600, he bought this thing called a Rodecaster, and it's microphones and everything. And he's calling Craigslist ads and making jokes with the people over the phone, and just he's creating content, and his audience is like, they're loving it, and they're like throwing him a little bit of money here and there. Then he has some merch, and they're buying his books and stuff, and it's like, so it's funny. Wow, like I don't know. Of course, you have to have, I think, rep to be at that Kevin Hart level, obviously. But then again, Jay Leno doesn't even have a manager. But then again, he was on the Tonight Show for all those years. So
but you're right. It has changed so much, Darren, that. Honestly, I don't even think anybody knows. You could blow something up on TikTok.
Yes.
It could change our lives if we just get the right,
Dude, let me tell you, there's a couple things I've been doing. Have you messed with because you're already on Instagram, right? I'm sure.
Oh,
Instagram.
Yeah. Of course,
So Instagram has it. They implemented a new thing called Reels. REELS for the listeners, and it's like their version of TikTok. They're trying to kill TikTok. They're like, they know TikTok's in trouble.
Oh, I've seen Reels.
TikTok's been okay. And so anytime, I'm gonna tell you a little tip I learned. Anytime these social media platforms have something new, they want their people to use it, and if you use it, they almost reward you. They're gonna like put it out there on the front page. So I've been doing these Reels, And I'm looking at it right here. Look, these are the ones I did recently, and you just add it with music. You guys can kind of look. And if you look at some of those numbers, like, dude, I put one up yesterday and it has like 1,600 views. This other one has like 2,600 views, and it's only because I think they're pushing it because it's new. Now 6 months from now, maybe they won't, but
jump on it early.
Yes, jump on it early.
Yeah.
But here's my point. Even more than that is that nowadays, what if there was a lockdown and we didn't have this internet stuff? We didn't have this webcam. I didn't have this microphone. I didn't have a friend to have on as a guest. You know, we would just be waiting. I would have made road money for touring, and it would have stopped March 15th. And I would have just been like,
my last show was March 14th. It's so funny. I keep talking to comics. I go, when's the last time you worked? It's always that last weekend.
Yeah.
That middle weekend of March. I did a Long Beach set, and I had Darren, when I look back now, and I think to myself, oh, wow, it's getting kind of bad, but it's not going to get bad everywhere here. Yeah. And then I came back and I hung out that night at the Hollywood Laugh Factory, hung out with Godfrey, and I almost went to the Den because I was like, well, why don't I just go to the Den? And I was started walking. I got to that gas station on the corner of Crescent and Sunset. Yeah. And I stopped and I went, it's always packed on Saturday nights. And what if somebody's sick there and they don't know? And I turned around and walked back, and Darren, it was just that little voice in my head that was like, you might not want to go down there, man, and go into a bar that's packed. This was before quarantine. And then next thing you know, we were quarantined within 3 days. 4 days.
I did your podcast, I think that the week before. Am I right? Because it was at that.
It was. Yes,
I remember it was kind of in the air that things were going on. Because remember, I saw you and Ruben, and we both kind of gave each other the elbow and not really.
Oh no! Remember? I know what you did. Remember, I didn't shake Mike Burnell's hand when he came out after the podcast. Remember?
Yeah.
Because I was being I've been like that for years, and then I remember you went like this. He kept, we're like, hey, what's up? I go, hey, what's up? Or we'll just stay over here, and then you go, hey, what's up, man? I'm not weird. And you went over and shook his hand. I go, oh, thanks, Darren.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You shook his hand. He went like that. And I go, you made me look a little like a little dig. Because I was like, hey, dude, I don't think we should. And you're like, I'm not weird. What's up?
Oh, yeah. Cut to 4 months later. Now everyone's walking around with masks on and stuff. I guess I am weird. No, by the way, I don't want to talk too much about this stuff, but I will say, do you?
Oh yeah, that's all right.
Have you found a perfect mask situation? Like, do you have one that you're comfortable with or not comfortable with?
Well, I have one N95, and then the cotton ones. But the only reason why I started doing this early on was because they were out of masks early. Remember, we couldn't find a mask anywhere. Yeah. So I remember getting a shirt, and I cut a shirt in half, and I doubled it up. But what I did was, I don't know what made me. I just got coffee filters.
Oh, cool!
And I folded them in half, and I taped them on the inside. And I'm still doing it with my cotton mask. And I'll tell you what's interesting. When there was a time when you could not get a mask, and they were having something on the Today Show or whatever, they're like, any tips? And then some person goes, well, you can also use filters like air conditioning filters, coffee filters. I went, holy shit. So I'm still doing that. Now the N95 one, I feel really comfortable with that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd prefer to walk around with a painter's mask, to be honest with you. Yeah. I just don't know how that works because you can't hear talking.
Yeah. See, I was doing the bandana for a while. Like I could do the bandana when it was like below my neck, and then if I passed somebody, I'd pull it up, and then I'm like, okay, we're back to. But I had to. If you have to like travel, or be in a situation where you have to wear the thing for a long period of time, it's very hard for me to breathe with the bandana. Like I don't know how I would not want to do a cross country flight like with like heavy cloth over my nose.
I was going to ask you that. Have you taken a long flight since?
I wouldn't say a long flight, but I flew from Burbank to Denver. And
no, that's long. I mean, that's long enough. Yeah, that's a couple hours.
And I found like the perfect, I think my wife got them on Amazon, like these black masks. They might be made of paper. I don't know what they're made of, but it's like, it's enough to where you could still breathe. And then of course, like when people are far away, I like pull it down so I can really breathe. And then when I'm okay, more people are coming, but because I was a little concerned. I'm like, how am I going to get on this flight? And, for a long time, it's like,
So, but you've been spending a lot of time up north in the
but the Fresno area, so I'm out there at the farm, and it's like, dude, there's days I don't see like anybody outside of my family for like 3 days, unless I go into town to get some gas or pick up a pizza or go to Walmart. But there's something about, dude, you know what I mean? Imagine you've seen those farms out there where you grew up and where we grew up in the valley. It's like, by the way, about a month ago, I took the exit right before you get to like the was it Tulare Airport? No, it was after Tulare. Whatever. It's like the Tulare.
Oh, that little airport. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, the one in Tulare or the one in Visalia?
The Tulare, the one in Tulare. Okay. It's cool. It somehow I got out. I went parallel to the freeway, and then I started winding around, and then I popped out at the by an airport, and I go, I bet you Johnny used to go here. Like there was that. What was that? That Tegas Ranch or something? Or is that what it's called?
Oh, you were down over there. Well, Tegas Ranch was awesome. Tegas Ranch used to be our little party house. And it had a hotel. We used to get rooms there for the Christmas dances and the proms and, get our whatever going on, whatever. Yeah. Hey, what happened? Anyway.
Erotic city.
Erotic. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Oh, I forgot to tell you this real quick. Back on Prince. My ex-wife, she always had this thing where she thought she saw somebody famous all the time. So she comes home one day and she goes, oh my God, I think I just saw Prince. I go, what? Where? She goes, at the bus stop.
Wow.
And I go, no, that's probably like an impersonator. She goes, I don't know, Johnny. It really looked like him. I go, why would he be standing there?
Yeah.
And Darren, I did this bit, and you ever write something and you're really proud of it, but it just doesn't hit? Yeah. And I don't know what I did wrong, but I told the story on stage, and I said, but how great would that have been for those people, right? And I do the whole thing where they're all just, I don't know if you ever took transit, but I used to take it back in the day. So I used to take it from Woodland Hills to the Comedy Store just to do 5 minutes in the belly room, okay? And I said, I do this thing where it's like they're standing there, they're all bummed out. I was in there, dearly beloved, we are gathered here to get on this thing called the bus. And I do this bit about getting on the bus, Darren, and I rewrite Let's Go Crazy, that beginning, and I never got anything. Nothing. And I remember I go, what's wrong with it? Are they not with me? Do they not believe that could happen? I don't know what it was, but I don't know if you've ever had something that you've written and you said, this is great. And nothing, dude. I mean, I would bail on that bit most of the time because I couldn't even finish it. You've never seen me do it because that's how I got rid of it after, So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I ramble sometimes.
No, that's what this is for, man. This is I can imagine, man, I always thought if I was famous like that, like I remember one time we were driving up to Yosemite and you go on this mountain road and I thought, wouldn't that be crazy as you're going around a curve, you're seeing Michael Jackson, just full Michael Jackson regalia, just like, I thought if I was really famous like him, I would just do that. Just go in the middle of nowhere, just like in the forest, like as cars drive by, because people are going to be like, that can't be Michael Jackson. They wouldn't even,
It's almost like a Bigfoot sighting. It's like,
I thought I had that thought back in the 80s, back when he was like, women were fainting, people were screaming. He was the biggest star. I don't know if we're going to ever have, I don't know if we'll ever have a star that big again. We might, but it
was different with Michael because he changed the way people danced.
Yeah.
And he was so big that, listen, we've got some.
You could dress like everybody dressed like Michael.
Everybody dressed like him.
I dressed like him.
Danced like him. It was, and it's kind of crazy because nothing against any of these huge, from Beyonce to Lady Gaga and male wise, who would that be? Because it's not like John Legend or who's Prince was the last one.
I mean,
that was that big.
The one that I could think of, he's almost like a Prince type of guy, but not really. He's not Prince. It's the guy that did the Super Bowl. I forget his name. Uptown Funk You Up. Uptown Funk You Up.
No. Oh, shoot. There we go. I hit this. Anyway.
You're like, no. You like smash your phone. What's that guy's name? I forgot his name right now.
Bruno
Mars.
No, dude. Not even close. Not even close. Michael was the Globe.
Let's find out. Who is the biggest male pop star 2020? Here we go. Okay, here's the list. Ready? Harry Styles is number 1.
I mean,
just stop your phone. It's a sign of the times.
But people don't even know some people don't even know who he is.
Dude, I don't even know who number 2 is. That was number 1. I don't even know who number 2 is. Number 2 is called Niall Horan. Niall James Horan, born in 1993, is an Irish singer and songwriter. Never even heard of this guy. No offense if anybody's a big fan of his. You got to send me his stuff.
No, it's not. You know what they're doing? They're going off of probably numbers. And here's the thing.
Shawn Mendes. You know who Shawn Mendes is?
But here's the crazy thing, Darren. Let me give you you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah. Everybody
knew who Michael was.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, granted, he did start at the Jackson 5, so there's a whole generation that grew up with him. But still, and this is why I always give credit to Prince. People would go, Prince or Michael? I mean, come on, man. Michael was bigger. Michael had a huge head start. Michael was a part of Motown's Jackson 5.
I know.
While Prince was going to school and learning how to play.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. His first album, he was like 19. Prince was. What a head start Michael had. It was a huge head start.
I love even little Michael. When you hear those Michael when he was a kid, oh, baby, give to me. It's so good.
Dude.
And the Christmas albums that as a kid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to hold you too long. We got to do a couple of things. I got to tell you a crazy story. Okay, so we're home now. We have all this time to ourselves. Like I said, my wife and son left, and so I'm cleaning cleaning out the closet, looking for some old tapes, old notebooks, old stuff, and I found something that I forgot all about this. This is talk about coincidences and things that are strange. This is a story. It happened, I'm going to say 1994. At the time, I was living in San Diego, California.
Oh, I didn't even know you lived there. Okay.
Yeah, I lived there for a little over a year. I used to rent this room dude, it was great. I used to rent this room in
San Diego.
I used to rent a room in a Victorian house. My rent was $300. $300. It was a spooky looking Victorian house, $300. But if you rake the leaves, she'd only charge you $285.
So you rake the leaves.
Yeah. So you're like shaking that tree around the 30th of the month. Like, come on, rent money. I'm like, hello, Mrs. I forget her name right now, but I would rake the leaves and, so it was $285, dude. So I remember one time I was going to Gold's Gym and I was trying to really, get the muscles and eat right. And I remember I don't know if I made pasta and beans. I don't know. I remember I opened up a can of beans, and this is back in the Bachelor days, dude. I think I must have poured it in the bowl or ate it straight out of the can. I don't remember, but I know this. I'm eating this can of beans, and I felt like something kind of crunchy. When you feel like a crunchy like chicken bone or something,
like cartilage or something.
Yeah. Which is normal, right? You feel that feeling. Maybe I was mixing chicken. I don't know what it was. Dude, I reached into my mouth.
No,
nothing gross. Nothing gross.
Okay,
It's not gross. It's not gross. Nothing. I would never, number one, I would never repeat it if it was something gross. Yeah. And I definitely wouldn't put it on the show because I'm not into that kind of humor.
Yeah.
But I pulled something out of my mouth. Dude, you know what I pulled out? A gold cross. A gold cross. And you know what? And I'm not even kidding. This isn't a joke. I'm not trying to spoof. I still have it, and I'm gonna hold it up right now. That's what I was looking for. Look at what I found. It obviously now I realize it probably fell off somebody's necklace or whatever. But look at this, man.
And
look at that.
Great
I still
condition.
have it. Oh, hold on. Is it blurry? No.
It's a little blurry. Can you pull it back a little bit?
Oh, maybe pull it back.
Yeah, that's better. That's better. It's almost better if you're. Yeah, because the camera's trying to adjust your fingers and your face.
Oh, right there.
Like right there. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ is on the cross. It's not just a regular cross. It's like he's acting like the figure.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. There we go.
Wild. Dude.
But yeah, I've had that for all these years. It's like, this is weird. It was a weird phenomenon. And of course you can explain it, but I'm telling you, there's something about you're just having your afternoon. You're like, what the hell? And this is like, and I'm a religious person. So it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Totally. That's awesome. Dale, did you tell that lady or you kept it to yourself?
I don't think I told her. I don't think I told her because, I remember telling different friends, like, dude, you're never going to believe it. I was eating this candle. And everyone has a different reaction depending if they're probably religious, then they might be like, whoa, but some people are funny. I told my Jewish friend about it. And he made a bunch of jokes. It was great though. I forget what they were, but it was just one quick one-liner after another. Like, I forget what they were. They were like, because, we're still, I don't know how you are, but I'm still like, I don't want to make too many jokes, that could go the wrong way. It's like,
totally.
It's like not worth it to me.
It's not.
Yeah, for Judgment Day. Hey, sorry, I was getting a couple laughs on my podcast. I was trying not to be obscure. No.
Well, you got to call your. By the way, first of all, that's awesome. That's amazing. And you have to, at some point, whether it's a special that you shoot or an album, you have to have the word obscure in there. Or my son thinks my son said I'm obscure. Hey, here's my new special. Or something. Yeah. Something. Yes. You know what I mean? So
he says stuff all the time about that obscure stuff. I'm like, I think it's funny. I write it down. It's like, I remember like the first time I heard it, it did hurt my feelings a little bit because I'm like, damn, that's kind of a harsh thing. And then he says it, he says it he says it with love. And also he really believes it. And he doesn't really think it's a bad thing. He just thinks it's a matter of he thinks it's a fact. So it's like, it's hard. I can't, how am I going to argue with him? It's like, dude, it's like, all right, I'm obscure, but it doesn't mean,
God, but you know what's weird, Darren? I hear when I see interviews, I'm talking big celebrities.
Yeah.
And they always get asked that same question. So your kids, they're, do they know that you're The Rock or you're Kate Hudson? And they all have the same answer. Oh, they're not into me.
Right.
They're into the on YouTube. And
the latest TikToker.
Yes. Darren, I hear it all the time. We're talking big names. So I just think it's, even my daughter's like, so when are you going to be doing what's next for you? What are you doing comedy? You know what I mean? Like she's already getting into that.
And it's kind of funny because a lot of my credits and stuff happened like way before he was born, So I'm like, dude, you weren't even, And also what's great, you know what though? Like at the end of the day, your kid doesn't care if you're actually going to be gone more. Like if you weren't obscure, you'd be gone 50 weeks a year,
Yeah. He should be, yes. He should be thankful of your obscurity. Right. And by the way, I knew you wanted real quickly to talk about bikes.
I love bikes.
I saved this for you.
Please do.
All right. So this was, I'm going to show the bikes that were the top-notch ones, and I'm going to show you which one I ended up getting.
Is that the Sears and Roebuck wish list or wish book?
This is the Sears and Roebuck book. This one's called Boys' Toys of the 70s and 80s.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So it has everything from all through the 70s out there. Okay. So this was the big dog, the motocross one for $100.
It's called Motocross One.
It's called the motocross bike. Okay.
Yeah. Is it motor or moto? M-O-T-O.
Moto. Did I say motor?
No.
Oh yeah. Then this is the next one for about $89, and this one is the again moto. The other one's a motocross. This one's a motocross look. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom two.
Oh, wow.
See this guy with the number 3?
Yeah.
That's the one. See the banana seat?
Yes.
That's basically my first bike.
What bike is that? What's that one called?
It's a Huffy. Again, motocross look bike.
I had one of those bikes that you're holding up. I got mine from. I'm gonna assume we got it from Sears.
Sears.
Probably got that.
Which one?
The one. I don't know, the one that has the number 1 on it. I think that at the bottom next to yours.
Yeah, next to the one I had.
What's that called? What kind of bike is that? Does it say?
It's a motocross look bike.
Yeah, a motocross look bike.
Heavy duty frame.
Yeah.
Deep treaded. But let's see. It doesn't have they don't have specific. These are just Sears and Roebucks, dude. These are all. I know. They all got to be Huffies.
I've looked that stuff up like late at night. I'd look it up and I'd be like some of those bikes had 3 gears. Mine only had 1 gear. I think I had that bottom one.
We had a 3-speed. My sister's had a 3-speed.
Oh, fancy.
But it also had the Ram handlebars. You remember the Ram handlebars that looped around?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the Huffy that I had, and I just wanted to show that to you because I know you're in the bikes right now. Darren's biking again,
dude,
and he's loving it. It is the best. Bikes are I can't believe you've gone 2 decades without riding a bike, dude.
I know, because you know what? I just didn't want to take it in the city streets. There's so many accidents. I know somebody. There was this acquaintance I knew that his mother got killed by a car on a bike, and it was always in the back of my mind. I'm like,
this is why. We've talked about this on our podcast. Oh, by the way, I do a podcast called "The Best of Everything" with Ruben Paul. The Best of Everything with Ruben. Anyway, I have to plug it because I always forget. Darren, I don't give a shit what anybody says, and I don't care how many tickets I get. I ride my bike. When I'm in the city, I ride on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay? I ain't getting on the streets, dude. Not anymore with distracted drivers.
Yep.
It's even worse now than ever. And I keep seeing people get killed. And if I even do it on the street, I'm going to go against traffic, not with traffic, because I want to see somebody. I want to be able to jump off my bike if somebody's coming at me. Yeah. I think riding I think that all has to be changed, man. Because
and people they ride in the street, and then they're opening their door, then you're gonna hit. That's why I didn't want to have one in the city. But I've been spending more time out of LA during this lockdown and up at the farm, and I love it up there because there's the country roads, and there's the dirt roads. I don't even have to worry about cars for the most part. I mean, occasionally if I'm at a blind corner, I'll slow down and look. But I mean, you could hear it. The dust will pop up. You're not gonna get. You know what I mean? It's
dude.
It's total.
I know.
It's freedom. It feels like freedom, man. You're on that bike and you're just you're getting a good sweat going. This is hilarious. I got to tell you something. So I told you I have a Schwinn. It's called a 29er, meaning I guess it's like a 29-inch frame.
29-inch, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's, and there's that
bar.
There's that bar that goes in the middle. And you know what, dude? I have bruises, not for this week because I haven't ridden it for a week, but I have bruises on the inside of each of my thighs, right? And my wife was like, how uncomfortable is that seat? Because I'm like, yeah, those seats aren't very comfortable. But it turns out it's from the bar because every time I'm getting off the bike, the whole bike goes clang and it gets my inside of my thigh. And so we Googled it, is this normal? And they said it's normal to have bruises on your inside of your thighs if you're a newbie. So I'm a newbie. I'm a newbie, man. What do you know?
Well, I think it's funny, number one, that you bought a bike, although they're very limited. So you found one, which is great. But you got a big one. You got a big one, dude.
Yeah, it's a little too well because I'm 5'10" and a half, and the other bikes was for people 5'10" and under, and the bike that I purchased is for people 6 feet and above. So I'm in that no man's land. So I was like, you know what? I'll give the 5'10" one to my son, and I'll take the 6 foot one, and my legs are paying for it.
So let me ask you something. So is he riding what? A 27-inch? A 27?
I think it's 26. I think it's 26.
Oh, 26. Okay. All right. They're so much fun, dude. Yeah.
There it is right there, guys.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube. I did a whole video on YouTube called it's like I bought a bike or bikes are out of stock or something like that. But it's a beautiful bike, man.
Yeah, and that's a Schwinn, right?
It's a Schwinn, and I took it into a bike shop. They're fixing it up right now. What they're going to do is
you got to re-gear it and all that stuff.
Because when you buy it from Walmart, those big box stores, they just slap them together so it's safe. But sometimes like the brakes rub against the wheel and the chain goes clunk clunk and it like switches.
Yeah.
Without you trying to switch.
Sounds like it could be the rider to me.
Yeah, it could be the rider, the operator.
It could be the newbie that
the newbie.
I just
clunk clunk clunk.
I'm just amazed that you've gone this many years, dude, without a bike of mine got stolen. A 5-speed beach cruiser got stolen like 3 years ago. And it's like I loved riding, especially at the beach. Now, here's another thing. If you're not going to go to the San Joaquin Valley, you're not going to be out there. You and Austin go down to Venice. You start in Santa Monica.
Oh.
You go to Santa Monica, right at the pier, and there's the bike trail that goes all the way from Santa Monica all the way through to Venice, right to like Playa del Rey and all that shit. It's the best ride, dude. And then you just turn around and come back.
It's so cool. Did you so you got to remember, like when bike helmets became like, they were mostly for kids at the beginning, and then adults started wearing them. And I remember thinking it looked weird. I was like, that's weird, because I didn't grow up around like that. And but then I'm telling you, we didn't grow up with helmets. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a helmet. So I got to tell you, it didn't feel weird at all. That helmet is so light, you don't even know it's on there. Plus, like maybe now because I'm bald, it's like I feel like it's protecting me from getting a sunburn. Yeah. And dude, it's like, when I was a kid, I was like, I don't want to mess up my hair, But,
okay. I'm gonna be honest. Have you worn
a bike helmet yet? Have you tried a bike helmet yet?
No, I won't. I won't do the bike helmet. It's the hardest thing for me, man. Because here's the other thing.
If you put it on, you won't even notice it. You won't even know it's up there.
Yeah, listen, you're probably 100% right. But I'm also a really good faller. Does that make sense?
You're close to the ground.
When I'm on a bike.
Oh, yeah.
But it is it's probably only a 24-inch.
It's a little
or a 20-inch. Yeah. So I told you, I just started teaching my daughter how to skid with the pedal brake, right?
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I've always been a really good faller, Darren. I know that sounds crazy.
No.
But I've always been very agile. Yes, I think smaller people have this something about I would see my bigger friends fall or trip, and I go, how did you end up with all those bruises? And you're like, trip, dude. And I go, oh yeah, you're 6'1" and you're 250. Yeah, when you trip and fall, when I trip and fall at 5'5", oh my God, I just weighed myself, by the way. Dude, we took my daughter for.
You look good though. You look good, but is this? What is this?
I should not be.
Was this a new number that you hadn't seen before?
I've been close to it, but I'd never I've been to 170 before. For 5'5", dude, that's heavy.
Yeah.
I should be 150.
What, you weighed 170?
The other day, my daughter's first, she met her new doctor out here in California. And, they got the scales right there. I always jump on a scale when I'm at a doctor's office. Now, granted, I was fully clothed. So, I don't know, 3-4 pounds, somewhere in there. Dude, 176.
Oh, yeah.
So that means I weigh around, if I had taken all my clothes off, I'm at 172 or something.
Yeah.
That's literally the heaviest I've ever been.
Dude, I remember the first time I got on this. Listen, I was in that same where I found that cross. I saw some of my old driver's license from when I was like 21, 22. I was like, I used to always, and I used to put like 160, 165, and now, dude, I think my latest driver's license, I think I put like 195, but I got on the scale. I remember the first time that it was like over 200, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I don't want it to be, I want it to be under 200. I used to be 160, but I think right now, the last time I weighed myself, I weighed 194.
Wow, 160 at 5'10" and a half?
When I was 21, 22.
Yeah. Well,
now,
you know what?
I weigh 194 and a half. The last time I weighed myself, but it's been 2 weeks, so who knows?
Okay.
But
well, you know what I weighed at 21?
What?
At 5'5", 135.
Wow. See, you were like a professional fighter. You know? You know what I mean? 135. There's a lot. That's a tough. There's a lot of strong guys at the 135.
Have you watched the documentary, the 30 for 30 on Chuck and Tito?
No, I'll watch it though. Oh, I gotta watch that.
Oh, dude, Darren, I was just bored. I'm looking on because all the 30-30s are so good. It doesn't matter what it's. I could probably watch a 30-30 on golf, and I'd probably be enthralled. They do it so. I want to be on 30 and 30. I want to be 30 for 30. Like, do a thing on me. You know what I mean? They do it so good. But anyway, I go, oh, Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz. Well, I'm not the biggest UFC guy, but shit, I remember when they were coming up. I watched some of those. Darren, it's so good.
Wow.
It's so good, dude. I did not want it to end. You know when you're watching a documentary and you're like,
where can I watch that? Is it on Netflix? Or YouTube or something?
Do you have Disney or ESPN? Do you have Disney Plus? Do you have that?
I probably do. I don't know. I never watch it, but I probably have it.
So it's on ESPN Plus with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet you could find it on YouTube because it's over a year old.
Okay.
So you can. It's called Chuck and Tito, 30 for 30. ESPN's 30 for 30. Chuck and Tito.
Yeah.
Dude, Darren, you're gonna. I mean, I know you like boxing more than probably UFC.
I like it all, though. I like it all. I like anybody that works hard and they're getting their breaks, and then the thing happens. I love the whole drama of it. I love all that stuff, man. I was not expecting it to be this good. It's cool. That good. And then I also want to recommend. I just watched the Stevie Nicks documentary. You like Stevie Nicks? She's great. You know, Prince wrote a song, right? Didn't he like have her? He collaborated with her for something. I forget what song it was, but I heard about that. Yeah. Here's another shot for you. You can use this one. Yeah. Ooh. Hold on, I'll Google it. Stevie Nicks and Prince collaboration. That must have been like later, right? In her later years? Stand Back. Yeah. It was. She wrote Stand Back start to the finish that day, humming along to the Prince single. When she later went to record the song, she had to tell him the story. Yeah. Man, that's a great documentary. That one I saw on Hulu. So, but anyway, well, you know what, Darren? This has been a great 20 minutes. Yes. Sorry, man. You're so interesting. I knew that this would happen. I knew I'd say, oh, by the way, it says Stevie Nicks co-wrote Stand Back with Prince, and she credited Prince's hit song Little Red Corvette as the inspiration for it. Wow. It doesn't sound anything like it. Yeah, it doesn't sound... I think he did the keyboard. I remember when he passed away, all these people would come on and tell these stories and testimonials, and I remember hearing it at that time. But Johnny, this flew by quick. Thank you for coming on. I just want to tell come everybody, back. We got it. I love your backdrop. You got the taco shop, the flag. You're looking good. You're sounding good. Hey, we haven't even dived deep into so many topics. I wanted to get you. There's so many things we can talk about. But listen, I just love for everybody to know. So Darren texts me, and he goes, he texts me. He goes, hey, you want to do the podcast? I go, yeah, all right. And Darren goes, 20 minutes. It'd be quick, 20 minutes. And I go, you said that last time when we did an hour. And then I was joking with him. And then he's like, yeah, well, it's because you're fun to talk to. And he buttered me up. And then I go, all right, I'll do it. But we're not doing, And then he goes, and then Darren, you said, remember, you go, all right, how about 30? I go, all right, man, we'll just bang one out 20, 30 minutes, which actually is what I'm trying to do because I just, but whatever. But like I said, you're so good that it's cut out whatever cut out. Just use the right pick. Yeah. Yep. Tell us the name of your podcast one more time, and where can they find you? The Best of Everything is on iTunes and Google Play, Spotify, YouTube. Follow Johhny Sanchez everywhere. He's hilarious. And Johnny, no, at Johnny Sanchez Comic. Yeah. Johnny Sanchez Comic. He's out there, man. Johnny, you're the best. I'll talk to you soon. You're the best. Please come back. And thanks, buddy. You got it, man. Thank you. Great. Thank you. We're done with this interview. How was that? It was great. Darren Carter, we all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.